What's up, guys? So today I want to talk about racism. I see a lot of it going on right now. Everybody's doing the Blackout Tuesday thing. I see it. I get you. I just don't believe that it's helping much. I think it's really dividing us even more. I get it from an emotional standpoint, from a sympathetic standpoint. You want to reach out. Look, I'm Latino. I'm dark. You know, I felt racism growing up, or felt it, but have I experienced it much? Not really. Um, I'm going to talk about that because I think we kind of create a narrative in our mind and make it even worse for ourselves and kind of make this self-fulfilling prophecy. Now, do I believe there is racism? Racism, yeah. Do I believe Kevin Hart is one of the best right now and doing amazing? Yes. Do I believe Michael Jackson hit the top of the top? Yes. Are they black? Yes. Do I believe Will Smith is hated on? I mean, really? I mean, these guys are black. I mean, Wesley Snipes, he's dark. He's pretty dark. Remember that guy? And they all did well. Now, do they get some negative attitudes? I mean, who doesn't? They might get it more. And again, I'm there too. But I think a lot of it has to do with this whole bringing up racism all the time. Do cops are cops brutal? Yeah, many times they are. But you have to put yourself in the perspective. And again, I am not backing up that guy. I think what he did was completely wrong. It's asinine. It's ridiculous. It's brutal. He should be sentenced and he should be in jail. But I believe there was more beyond that. But you know, we have to look at this that if you're a cop, you have to put yourself in that mindset. There are times, and you could check this out yourself, like cops getting shot where they're like, hey, could you put your hands out? And they don't take it out. All of a sudden, boom, they just shoot. It's instant. They're dead. Think about that. Put yourself in that situation. How hyper vigilant would you be? How cynical would you be? And look, I used to talk to a lot of different people and walk to a lot of different houses. I did a lot of house walking when I was younger, house to house. And you kind of start getting kind of like a stereotype of how people are. And it's funny, people say, oh, that's being racist. No, there are stereotypes because although not everybody's the same in that respect, there's different characters, but you kind of start getting a certain stereotype. And I started noticing that, like, you could see little things here and there, the way they talk, the way they respond to you, and you could set up a kind of a narrative from there, how people are. But you can't look at life like that because once you do that, you get yourself in this negative, cynical mindset. So what am I talking about here? So you have, I was talking to a friend of mine, and he was, I'm making a video. Let me close this door here. So he was talking about racism, and he's like, everything was about race, and I was like, dude, why do you keep talking about race? And I'm like, to be honest, man, you sound racist. He says he's not, and I get it, but everything was like about race, and I was like thinking about it, man, you're making yourself divided. You're making yourself put yourself in a negative mentality, kind of like in a victim mentality that I'm this, therefore I cannot do that because the white man is holding me down because we're being oppressed somehow. Okay. And this guy, he's doing really well. And again, there's a lot of people that do a lot of well, but I'm telling them, like, look, you're going to have that mentality. Let me tell you why. There might be racism. There might be haters, whatever. But if you get yourself in that mentality, all you're thinking is it's us versus them. I have the same experience. Let me tell you, because he was like, hey, I got stopped by cops and they saw me and they roughed me up. And I'm like, yeah, I had the same experience getting stopped, but I didn't get roughed up. And I have to bring out, and why I want to bring this is the way you dress, the way you talk, the way you look to people, your demeanor, your energy, right? So let's say, I'm making a video here. My baby's at your sister's. Okay, I got stopped again. So anyways, I got a little irritated because you knew I was in the video. Like, you jump in here again. So I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, so your demeanor, the way you feel, the way you look. So when I was younger, I grew up in a very Latino community. Majority of people were like at least 90% Latino. So when you grow up in that environment, all you know is that you mostly talk Spanglish because they know some Spanish and I mean, some words in Spanish and in English. You start talking and you just don't even notice you do that. But then I moved and I went to another school and there was more of a variety, but there was also more white. And then you realize like, whoa, I can't speak because you realize we're speaking Spanglish and then you can't communicate correctly. And then you kind of start getting suppressed and you're like, oh, I can't really speak. I thought I could speak. Then, I mean, I remember a girl, she was like, oh, I like your accent. I was like, accent? I'm like, what? I have an accent? Like, I didn't even notice it. So, what happened was that after that, I started kind of like shutting down a bit more. I wasn't as active or as talkative because I don't know. You start kind of thinking about yourself and how you talk and all. And then you start feeling like, I don't know, you start feeling like people look down on you because you're dark. To be honest, I thought people looked at me like a gardener. I don't have anything against gardeners, but a lot of bigger communities have gardeners and a lot of times they're Mexicans. And so I don't have anything against gardeners or any type of work. Like I don't look at people like that. I look at their character. I don't care what you do. I look at everybody the same and I talk to everybody the same and I shake everybody's hands the same. But that's how I felt. Like they just looked at me like I was somebody that wasn't educated or I just came from Mexico, for instance. And you do have those vibes. So, I also noticed when I was around different ethnicities, especially white, that I was like, oh, they're not really talking to me. They don't really say hi. So think about how I must feel. I probably am just like, oh, there they are. And how is my face? My face doesn't look friendly. And look, also when you grow up in the hood, you got to be tough. So you just can't be all like whatever. You kind of have to look hard sometimes. So talking to my Latino friends, if you're looking hard, you're going to look mean and you're going to look scary. Now, if you're dressing like a rapper, look, it's cool. You want to dress like that. I dressed like that all when I was younger as well. But realize that you are expressing yourself or looking like the rappers in TV that talk about what? Sex, drug, money, F you, F that. That's like a drug dealer or a thug. So you look like a thug. And then you're looking hard on top of that like, dude, who's going to say hi to you? Okay? So you having that face, that mentality, victim mentality, they don't like me. Guess what? We're never going to talk because you don't look friendly. So what did I say? I said, you know what? I think it's my face because I have RBF, which is resting bitch face. So if I don't smile, I look mean. So I was like, you know what? I have to be the initiator and just start talking and just say hi. Don't wait. So once I did that, I changed my mentality and I stopped thinking, oh, poor miserable me and racism and all this. Everything changed. And from there on out, I could talk to anybody. Then I married a white woman. Like, I mean, it wasn't because she was white, but it was just her character. She was somebody I jived with and somebody that understands me. And we understand each other, So, again, this whole racism thing, yes, there might be, but I think we're hyping it up too much. Is there police brutality? Absolutely. Actually, in Chicago, it's there's a lot of killings, and it's actually a lot of black on black. It's like 10 a day or more, and it's like, if this is really on that, then we should really focus on that. But just like the COVID thing, it's being blown up. Right now, I think they're causing a race war. If you could look at my feed, you could see a lot of this stuff is being perpetrated and instigated, a lot by the Antifa groups. They want to destroy everything, and they're destroying our businesses. So I believe what's going on right now in this whole COVID thing, there is a great enemy within the United States, and they're trying to destroy our economy, which is pretty much devastated. So right now, what's going on? You have the economy that's been destroyed. You got well, it's not there yet. I think they're popping up the dollar. But once you print money like that, you start getting inflation. Look at Venezuela and what's going on with them. Their money, the value of the money, it's trash. So stuff starts costing even more. So now we have these riots that are being paid for by, they're paid provocateurs, and they're paid to write like Black Lives Matter. And by the way, Black Lives Matter is actually mostly by the Clintons and George Soros. If you don't know who they are, look them up. They're the ones that are encouraging this, and they're basically making us fight within each other. Because look what's happening. Hillary Clinton was, they had her in court today, You don't see it in any mainstream media news source. And on top of that, nobody knows. And you have to realize that, look, I get it. If you're not into this and you're new to this, you just might see it like this. But usually it's, hey, this is going on over here, but really they have something else going on over here. But the race wars, which is a civil war, pretty much, is causing us to destroy ourselves and now look this other way and who's the real enemy. Okay, so this is why I don't follow that. I've been seeing this step by step. It kind of sucks because you try to wake people up and nobody wants to see it. Everybody wants to be distracted, and I get it. You want to live your life, but you know what? You have to take care of your garden. Once you don't take care of your garden, the weeds come no matter what you do. You don't have to water them. You don't have to sing them songs. You don't have to have a positive attitude. The weeds come no matter what. So you always have to tend to them if you want, your garden to be the way it's supposed to be. So lastly, so I have so many things I want to talk about. Let me see if I have them here. I was going to talk about some books. Oops, I left them downstairs. But anyways, what could I talk about? The paid provocateurs, George Soros, right? We had the Clintons. What else? I'm not sure. I'm not really good at this. I'm just stood in front of the camera today. I just wanted to do it. But all I'm saying, guys, don't destroy your own businesses. You're destroying small businesses. Small businesses like this, they're the heart of America. The more you provoke, and if you don't stop them, so if you're out there protesting, if you see these guys, you got to stop them. And also, this is why you need the Second Amendment. You need to protect yourselves. We always thought, I think they got us into this Disneyland mentality where everything's just fine and dandy. There's no bad people. There's always bad people. You need to always protect yourself. Once you take your guns and you got to study history, it goes really bad. And you don't want the government to have all the power, because once they have all the power, absolute power corrupts absolutely. So you have to maintain the Constitution. So when people ask me, what do you believe in? I believe in the Constitution. I believe what made America what it is right now. Is it perfect? No. There's people talking about oppression and all that. But another thing on oppression, I just wanted to bring up that you might be oppressed, but who in the world hasn't been oppressed? You got to get out of that mentality. It puts you in a victim mentality, and a victim mentality puts the blame on everybody else and doesn't take responsibility for yourself, which I think is a big disease that stops you. It gets you like in this negative mindset to always place blame on everything else, when you can look around. Whoever's doing it right, studying, putting in the work, they're going to achieve whatever they're going to achieve. Now, is it perfect? No. But you know what? This is what it is. We're in America. And to my Latino friends, look, man, you live here. This is America. America's a melting pot of people. It's not just whites. It's a melting pot of people. We built this country, as Americans. And if you're like back and forth, dude, I get it. But you're an American. If you're born and raised here, you're an American. You can't be talking about this over here when you live here. You got to take care of here. Because if you're not, you're doing a disservice. For instance, if you're a family guy and you're taking care of everybody else but your child or your family, you're doing a disservice, and that's not your responsibility. You got to take care of your own family first. Once you take care of your own family, the rest follows. Then you could, overflow and take care of everything else. But it's much easier to go out there and do a little good deed and feel good about myself, because at home you usually don't get a praise or a pat on the back that easily, So I feel like everybody did that, take the responsibility to be a real father, be there for their children, be for the wife. The world will be a different thing, because you're not out there looking for praise. You're taking the responsibility to do what you have to do. So this is why I feel that this whole Black Lives Matter thing, I think all lives matter. Again, there is police brutality, but they're using this against us. They're using this to divide us. Again, that mentality, it just puts me as us versus them. And I don't think it's useful. And I'm sorry for all those who have been abused. Oh, let me give you a quick story. I didn't bring this up. So my friend that I was talking to, he said that he did get abused by cops and all that. But again, I was talking about how your demeanor was, how you talked, and maybe you got a couple bad apples. Maybe those guys had a bad day. Again, you think about cops and where they're at, and sometimes they are roughed up a lot, and they are talked down to. They call them pigs and all that, which is stupid. But also, uh, for me, my experience was I got stopped 3 times by 3 different white cops. Even my wife was like, "Oh, you got to chill, you don't get like whatever." Because then I seen they shoot cops or they'll shoot people. I guess because I was Latino, I don't know if she was tripping out or something. But I was like, "No, don't worry about it." So I talked to him. I talked to him normally. Hi, how you doing? Nice. I gave him a smile and all that. And guess what? All 3 of those white cops let me go with no charges. Actually, one was pretty funny. I was coming down and it was like a weird angle to cross, and I stopped like right in the middle, and he was gonna T-bone me. So he stopped me. He's like, "Hey, how you doing?" I'm like, "Hey, I'm sorry, man. Listening to a really good song, and I'm just in a good mood, and I kind of just missed the stop. It was a weird angle." He's like, "All right, if the song is good, I'll let you go." And I raise it up, and it's L is for the way you look. It's Nat King Cole. It was a really good song, and I love that song. So he's like, "Oh man, get out of here." So he let me go. And the one time I did get a ticket, it was a black guy. I'm not saying anything, but I'm just saying it doesn't matter. It's just character. You got to look at character and what the person is. But if you go with the mentality, a victim mentality, a racist mentality, you're going to self-fulfill that reality because you're coming off with the, like if you have that face all the time, if you're not like, "Hey, how you doing? What's up?" Nobody's going to look at you like that. Nobody's going to be like, "Oh, he's cool." Sometimes you have to be the initiator. And dude, once you do that, it changes everything. And I don't think we need to be in this. 2020, we're talking about racism. Really? Come on, guys. They're just pulling our fucking leg here. Excuse my language, but it's bringing in the military. And I hope Trump is a real guy. He's for the Constitution. Look, he is not perfect, but I'd rather not have Hillary. I'd rather not have Obama. I'd rather not have a politician that smiles at you and tells you shit nicely and stabs you in the back every time. So that's what's been happening to America because that's what it's all about Constitution. Okay, so unfortunately, a lot of the kids come out of college, they come out kind of communistic thinking, kind of socialist, communism, Marxism, socialism. It's all the same thing, different names, different tactics, different ways to do that. But every country that goes through that, it destroys. So, it's a shame that a lot of people are like that. Actually, I'm gonna leave a video down below in the comments, and you can see his name is Yuri Bezmenov. He is an ex-KGB agent, and he talks about the stages of taking over a country and how they did it. And he's not in that no more, and he realized it's a disease in the world, and he's showing you how they do what they do and how subversive and how they infiltrate, and it's like it's very like crazy how they do it, but and it shows you once they get you to that thinking because they pass it through movies, they pass it through music, they pass it through academia, all that and through cartoons. Once you notice that they've been doing that all your life, it's very hard to change. And also for kids that come out of college, it's really hard because you paid for that indoctrination, you paid for it, and you feel like, "Oh, I'm so great, I'm so smart, I came out of school, I put all these years in." And look, I'm not against school. I just think school is for some stuff, not for everything. If you need to be a doctor, you need to go to school. But if you don't, you can find other ways to make money. But I left school because I didn't like the indoctrination. I saw it early on, and I didn't like what they were pushing. I don't think they're really teaching you. I think they're telling you how to think. So, that's why I left it. But yeah, once you're in it, once you paid, you're kind of, it's kind of like you're in the rhythm, not in the rhythm, but you're kind of stuck in that mentality. And it's easier because everybody in your surrounding is thinking the same thing. Kind of like a social bias, right? Where everybody's doing it kind of thing. And once you step out of that, you're the crazy guy. So I see all this posts now, but it's trendy. This black thing, this blackout thing. It's trending. Every celebrity's doing it. So it doesn't impress me. I get where your heart is, but if you really want to step out, do your own research and post when you see, because I see a lot of my posts and not everybody likes, not everybody shares, because it's really hard. I mean, I've been posting about vaccines for such a long time. Now people are finally waking up to it, talking about the aborted fetal cells that are in there, the adjuvants that have aluminum. They had mercury. I mean, you just have a bunch of disgusting things in there that are not good for the body. And it's not easy for me to post. It's not something that I want to post. I'm not even posting this because I want to. I'm posting this because I have to. I think it's a God-given gift to me to learn and research things like I do. I realized like, wow, why do I have this knowledge, this gift of knowledge and research? Like, it's just within me. It's not. I'm not glorifying myself. It's just part of me. It's my gift. So I cannot keep the gift. I need to give it for the future generations. And so this is why I'm doing it. But yeah, guys, thank you so much, and take care out there. I'll talk to you guys later.